Hello guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most frustrating parts of baking, and that is when your cake doesn't turn out the way you are expecting. I'm going to be talking about it while I package my cake for delivery. Have you ever baked a cake that sank in the middle, crack on top, comes out dense or didn't even rise at all, like totally flat? Well, you are not alone. It has happened to me before, times without number. Then I was still a beginner. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the common reasons why things like that happen, why your cake go wrong, and how to avoid them, or even how to fix them to make your cakes come out perfectly each time you bake. So if it is something you are interested in, you might want to stick around. So let's go. One of the most disappointing things in baking is a cake that rises beautifully well in the oven and then collapse in the middle as soon as it cools down. So here are some top reasons why your cake sink under baking. If your cake isn't fully baked, the center will remain soft and liquidy. This can make the cake sink in the middle as soon as it is cold. So the solution is, before bringing out your cake from the oven, make sure it is properly done. Insert a toothpick or a skewer in the middle multiple times. Ensure that it comes out clean before you bring out your cake from the oven. Overmixing your batter can also develop too much gluten, making your cake too tough and unstable. So I usually advise that you should mix your cake for just 20 minutes. 20 minutes is enough. Another thing is, when there is too much of baking powder or baking soda in your mixture. Too much baking powder or soda can cause your cake to rise too fast in the oven, and after a while, it will collapse under its own weight. The solution is, stick to the recipe. It is better that way, because a little extra baking powder or baking soda is not always good. Another thing that can cause your cake from collapsing is opening the oven door too early or too many times. When you open the oven door frequently, the temperature drops. This can cause your cake to sink. So when baking, do not open your oven door for the first 30 to 40 minutes. Allow it to cook properly before you start checking. Then we have incorrect oven temperature. If your oven temperature is too hot or too cold, it can ruin your cake. So before baking, try to preheat your oven. After your oven is properly hot, that's when you now place your batter into the oven, not a cold oven. It is not advisable at all to place your batter into a cold oven. If you're not sure of your oven temperature, I will advise that you get an oven thermometer. That can help you. So now let's talk about why cake crack on top. A cracked cake on top is really not a bad thing per se. In fact, it might even taste great, but it is not ideal for layered cakes or professional presentation because it will look domey. So the general cause can be, if your oven is too hot, the heat makes the outside of your cake to cook faster and too quickly, while the inside is still rising. This will cause it to crack. So when you are doing this, reduce the temperature slightly and bake longer if needed. Most of the time, this happens to people that are using locally made oven. Another thing is, if your cake pan is too small and the cake batter has nowhere to expand to, it will now face up. That is just it. And this will lead to cracking. So the best thing is for you to get the correct size of pan for your recipe. If you want to bake a particular portion of cake, make sure it is the exact pan that you're using. In my subsequent videos, I'm going to be teaching about cake pans and batter measurements. So you might want to stick around by subscribing to my channel so that you don't get to miss out, so you get notified each time I post that video or any other video that is very educative and informative. So moving on, now let's talk about why cake comes out looking like pancake. What I mean is, why some cakes come out looking flat. If you overbeat your eggs or your batter, it will weaken the structure of your cake instead of strengthening it. So mix with care and don't overwork your ingredients. Low heat temperature can also cause flattening of cakes. If your oven is not hot enough, your cake won't rise. So I will suggest that you always preheat your oven before placing your cake into it. Baking is both science and art. Mistakes do happen sometimes. So now you know what exactly to watch out for when baking. If you find this video helpful, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and even share the video. You might be helping someone out there who really needs this kind of video without you knowing. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!